my sugar binga bingers, welcome back to my channel. Now, if it's your very first time tuning in, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Imagine. Also hit the notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload. Now, I understand that we're all super busy trying to chase and pursue multiple streams of income so that we can live our best lives, obviously, but most importantly, so that we can create generational wealth. So there's not much time to watch videos. And I also realize that most of us are still trying to bring ourselves back towards ourselves after the year 2020 did a number on us. Furthermore, I realize and I am aware of the fact that we do run out of data, we run out of airtime, so we can't tune in as much as we want to tune in, especially when the videos are quite lengthy. But I'm a person who likes to elaborate and go in depth whenever I talk about something because I don't want to leave anything out. It actually bothers me and it haunts me to a point where I can't even sleep because I keep thinking, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that. And angibi rats, angibi ratsi. Therefore, I will be giving 2 of my lucky subscribers 100 Rand airtime if they answer the giveaway question that I will be asking during this video correctly. So stay tuned. Now, before we get it crack-a-lacking, shout out to all 3,000 of you. What? Thank you so much for all the love and support, you guys. I absolutely adore you and I appreciate every single one of you. Keep it going, keep it flowing so we can keep growing. We are growing higher and higher. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. I'm so excited and we're about to have the time of our lives here. Trust me. So spread the word. Also, don't forget to spread the love by liking the videos and actually commenting so we can keep communicating. And that's exactly why I started this channel, so that I can communicate with my loved ones. You are my loved ones. And I was actually really shocked when one of my subscribers commented, wow, you actually responded to my comment. And I was like, absolutely, we are famo. I have to. I wouldn't be here without you. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't have started this channel if I didn't feel the need to connect and interact with my people. So we need to communicate. I will forever respond, even if it's just like by liking or loving your comment. I will show you, I see you, because I do see you and I appreciate you more than you could ever imagine. Speaking of liking and commenting, I said spread the love because this is so important, you guys. I understand that we're different. We're not all cut from the same cloth. Therefore, we won't always see eye to eye. And that's perfectly fine. But it doesn't mean asibe mean. It doesn't warrant rudeness. It doesn't warrant cruelty. It is so important to lead with love. People are going through the most. Mental wellness. I don't want to call it mental illness because there's a negative stigma that gets attached to that. Mental wellness does get impaired with chemical imbalances, with experiences that we go through in life, with traumas, etc., etc. And you never know how big of an impact your comment could have on someone and their entire life. And that's why I do not accept hate. I do not accept any negativity. There's a difference between positive criticism, where one is actually sharing their opinion or their view in order to help me grow or to help the next person grow. I accept that. We should help each other. The approach is also really, really important because sometimes you might think that you're helping someone by pointing out something that they're doing wrong, but the manner in which you point that out, the manner or the tone used to point that fault out is so important. And typically when I point out something that doesn't sit right with my soul or something that needs to be addressed, I will initially compliment that person. I'll be like, oh, this is actually fire, but I'd like for you to do this better. Or could you add a little, to this, and the third? Or please talk about this. There's no need to be rude. Like, there's no need to be rude. It's so unnecessary. I wonder if mean, rude, negative, toxic people actually realize that they're exposing how miserable and unhappy they are. Like, I understand that you may be angry, you may be unhappy with your life, you may be going through the most, but it's not for you to project that onto me. Keep yourself in check. If you actually enjoy being in that negative state, if you actually enjoy your toxicity, stay in your little toxic, miserable corner, but don't try to rub that off on me. I don't want it. I'm a positive person. I exude light. I exude love. I am all about kindness. And if you're not about that, which brings me to the topic of AKA's fiance, Anele Tembe. And I know this is a super sensitive topic. I didn't want to talk about it, but it actually touched me because I saw so many vile, foul comments. People were saying, I suga, people are just spoiled, people are just super sensitive, people are weak, people need to toughen up, people need to man up, people need to understand that it's never that deep and life goes on and they can get through anything. Okay, I hear you. But there's no need for you to be insensitive. Not everybody is like you. Not everybody is like me. I am thick-skinned as hell. But still, I do not accept negativity. I do not accept toxicity. I do not accept abuse. Nobody deserves that. Nobody should accept that. Life shouldn't be a struggle. Yes, there will be ups and downs. But when it's a continuous struggle and it gets so difficult and so challenging to a point where you're just like, I do not see the light at the end of the tunnel. You don't know what that next person's mental state is like when they're going through a period like that. So be more considerate. Be kind. Be respectful. Have a heart. Be a human being. Mental illness is real. And that's another problem that we have within the Black community. We refuse to acknowledge the existence of mental illnesses. They are there. They are real. When somebody says, I am depressed, they're not lying. When somebody says, I have anxiety, they're not lying. It's actually highly likely that they are suffocating. And the fact that they're actually saying it out loud means, Yazin, I'm crying. I'm crying out for help. It's not for you to poke and poke and poke and push that person over the edge. It's not for you to say, une depression ganjani fridge igcwele ukudla. It's not for you to say, une anxiety yenze njani unabazali. There are experiences that people go through that they can't handle, that get super overwhelming. There are traumas that people go through or people went through that are still haunting them to this day. Who do you think you are to judge the next person and think you can tell them how to live their life, how to view their situation? Yes, offer advice, but be kind in doing so. Don't be mean and cruel and disrespectful and cold and heartless and bitter. You're actually exposing just how bitter and inhumane you are. How do you say those evil things about someone who just passed on? How do you diminish and invalidate someone's mental well-being being altered and impaired and negatively affected by saying, there's food in the fridge, you have this, you have that? No, they're going through this. Allow them to go through this. Allow them to feel it and then provide advice. Provide advice, provide suggestions, provide help. If whatever it is you're about to utter is not going to help the next person grow and get better and feel good about themselves, Tola. The problem is nyathanda ukubewuza. There are people who just have verbal diarrhea and who want to have a say on anything and everything, even when it's unnecessary, even when they don't even understand that topic. If you're not spreading love, respect, kindness, Tola. We're already going through so many things in this life. We don't need any more negativity. And when the fact that you're already like that, you're already so foul and so evil and so cruel and so mean, means that you're also going through your own thing. Focus on yourself, gay. Fix yourself, because clearly you also need help. And that's exactly why I decided to go on a young hiatus. I took a break because I realized that, there are things that I thought I had forgotten, that I thought I had forgiven, but in actuality, I had been suppressing them. because that's exactly what I was taught. People of color are taught to just grin and bear it. People of color are taught ukuthi tough, move on. People of color are taught ukuthi hey, indoda ikhalela ngaphakathi. Men don't cry. Men aren't allowed to cry. Be strong. Keep it pushing. Put up a front. You'll be okay. But that's not okay. Jay-Z once said, you can't heal what you don't reveal. And he was absolutely right. But sadly, in Black families, and I'll speak on something that I thoroughly understand, that I've been through and that I'm currently going through. In Black families, we're not allowed to speak up. Children are silenced. And whenever they do speak up about something that does not sit right with their soul, about something that is questionable, about toxicity, about negativity, about abuse within the family, they are told that they are disrespectful and they are dismissed. Their experiences, their pains, their traumas are diminished. They're invalidated. And they're completely cancelled altogether. Our experiences, our pains, our traumas, our voices are completely cancelled within our Black families. And I am tired of that. Today I say enough is enough. As a future mother, I refuse to let this cycle, this vicious cycle, continue. Give children a voice. Allow children to speak up. Listen to children. When a child says, I am uncomfortable around so-and-so, hear them out and actually do something about it. Do not force a child to rub shoulders with so-and-so after they have expressed, something is off. This person doesn't treat me right. Do not force children to respect their abusers. What are you trying to say? That abuse is okay? That even when they venture out into the world and establish friendships, romantic relationships, they should endure and stay within that toxic environment, within that toxic relationship, because abuse is the norm. And they should just be quiet and protect the abuser, so that the abuse continues even when that child is an adult. And the abuser or abusers continue to do as they please. They continue to have the power. What message are we sending? What are we teaching the children? Parents, guardians, when a child says, I don't like so-and-so, they make me uncomfortable, they say this, that, and the third, they do this, that, and the third to me, get that child out of there. Deal with the person who's putting that child through that. Do not just sweep things under the rug. Black families sweep things under the rug. They have deep, dark secrets. People in Black families get away with murder for the sake of retaining the peace, for the sake of protecting a loved one, for the sake of protecting the abuser. What about the abused? You know good and well that these things are happening within the family, but you expect the abused to act as though all is well. You expect the abused to keep quiet. You expect the abused to be respectful because this person who is the abuser is their elder. Bakhohlakele abantu abadala emndenini yethu futhi bana manga. The elders in Black families are evil and they are pathological liars. And the sad part is that everybody believes umdala. Everybody believes the elder because they're the elder. They can't be lying. Clearly, it's this child who's disrespectful. Why is this child disrespectful? Why is this child angry? Why does this child grab every opportunity that says, get out of there, move to a different city, move to a different province, move to a different country? Why do they grab that opportunity with both hands and run with it and never look back? Why are they happier when they're away from their family? Ask the necessary questions. Why do they not want to hear it when you bring up that person's name? Why do they not want to hear it when you try to justify that person's behavior? Because they know the truth. They experienced that person in every form, especially the darkest form. You weren't there. That person changed the narrative to suit them, and they did so successfully because they are the elder. And the elder is never wrong, especially when the elder is able to communicate with the underground gang. That's another problem we have within the Black community. I don't know why people think that we're stupid. Sonke sinamadlozi. We all have ancestors. Just because they manifest differently in each person doesn't mean one person is more important or more powerful than the next. But also within our Black families, we don't understand that there are people who are vile and narcissistic enough to take that and use it to gain power and influence within that family so they can rule and control everybody, and everybody listens to them. Why? Because, oh no, the underground gang communicates through this person, therefore we need to listen to everything that they say. We need to do everything that they tell us to do exactly how they tell us to do it, not realizing that this person is actually evil. This person is actually manipulating the situation. This person is actually abusing people and then hiding behind our ancestors. Wake wawabonaphi amadlozi akhuluma ububi bodwa? All these ancestors do is threaten, speak negatively, speak toxicity unto other people's life, speak death unto the lives of others. Within that very same family, are they not my ancestors as well? Why all of a sudden my ancestors awangifuni mekhuluma through wena? Why all of a sudden my ancestors seem to be very unhappy with me and angry with me, and they want to ruin everything that has to do with me, and they want to kill me every time they communicate with you and through you? Yet when they communicate with me and through me, it's all positive vibes. It's all love and light. It's all, our daughter, we are happy, we are pleased with you. Continue to walk in that path. In the words of Big Zulu,
they've tempered with bad spirits, making look like you've got abelos or something, where you're hearing these things. It's not, because even in all the spirits, people will think umuntu unehlozi kanti bawukenze bar mafufunyane, or you've got a imimoya, a me, you know, bar unal mafufu, because that is not gift. Ancestral spirits, one, they can have aggression, but they will not necessarily harm the other person. They will be dealing with you as their vessel, but they will not want to be attacking or stepping or doing And ancestral spirits, when you speak to them, they listen. When you come with respect and humility, they listen. And they don't speak vile or viciousness or speak venom towards other people. They don't become impossible, and they're not going to say, we're going to kill this one and we're going to do this one. No. Ancestors are for us. They're not against us. So that's how you can tell. It's when they start saying very sinister things and they start pulling their clothes off and becoming naked. Be careful. Idlos is very respectful.
Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I'm dense? I'm not like everybody else, Mina. I'm nobody's minion. I'm a child of God. I'm a child of great ancestors of light. I don't dabble in darkness. I don't dabble in anything that has to do with evil. I don't play with the devil and his demons. That's the losing team. I play for the winning team. And I double, hell, I triple check every single thing with God. And he lets me know that this ain't it. Oh yeah, this is what's up. So don't you ever think you can play me. Don't you ever think you can manipulate me like everybody else, because I am gifted in a way that you will never understand. And that's probably the reason why you hate me, because you saw it even when I was a baby. Ukuthi ha ha ha, nainking. This one is going to be a problem. This one is going to see right through me. This one, unlike the others, is actually going to challenge me. This one, unlike the others, fears nothing. That's me. Angsabi lutho, angsabi muntu. And there are people who need to be grateful that I walk in the path of light, because had I dabbled in the path of darkness and said, back to sender, or let me avenge myself for all the pain this person has put me through. But no, I pray for you. I wish you well. I wish you love. Because ugcwele inzondo. You're full of hate. Inhliziyo imnyama ubolile. Your heart is contaminated. How do you see an enemy in a family member? How do you see a rival in a child? How do you abuse an innocent soul? Are you not asking for a dark cloud over your life when you do that? A child? That's literally an angel. How do you violate? Be it mentally, emotionally, verbally, psychologically, physically. How do you violate an innocent soul and just go on with life like nothing happened and expect that child, even when they have become an adult, to let you get away with that and to let you continue doing that to them, even when they've reached adulthood? Have you bumped your head? You must have bumped your head, because I'm not one to play with. Angiyona ingqathu mina, angiyona insangu mina, akudlalelwa like mina. I'm not one to play with. And that is why I will make sure that I teach my children that respect is earned. Sure, everybody deserves common respect because we're all human beings. We're all God's children. But the minute somebody crosses the line, the minute somebody pushes you over the edge, they no longer deserve respect. Nobody who violates anybody, let alone a child, deserves any form of respect. And it's actually really devastating. It's actually really disgusting that people get away with such things and never suffer any sort of consequence, because they always spin the narrative to suit them, and they lie and they manipulate and they use ancestors and they use age to say, listen to me, I'm the elder, I deserve respect. Don't listen to her, she's a liar, she's a child, she knows nothing, she's just disrespectful. It makes me wonder how other people's brains function. Bantu bagiti, my people, please realize that God gave you a brain so you can use it. God gave you common sense so that you can use it. When everything a person does is centered around negativity, anger, rudeness, abuse, hatred, jealousy, how do you respect that person? How do you continue listening to that person? Even if they do say that, yo, you have to listen to me because our ancestors speak through me. What kind of ancestors are these who never praise? All they ever do is fight. They're always angry and aggressive when there's so many people who are doing so well within the family, when the very people that they're fighting against, that they're angry at within the family, are the ones doing the most, are the ones flying that family's flag high, are the ones walking in a godly path. Yet you who runs to your little dark corner and practices voodoo and shit and calls out my name and the names of my loved ones to bring them to their demise, You're the vessel they speak through? You? I'm no fool. I see right through you. I see right through BS. So bafethu asebenziseni ingqondo. Let's use our brains. If something doesn't make sense, and if a person always exudes questionable behavior, they're questionable. If something feels off, it is off. Oh, just because so-and-so said we should listen to this and we should do this, then we should do it. And forget about the fact that so-and-so is evil. So-and-so is jealous of their own family members. So-and-so abuses an innocent soul. You neglect all of that, you forget all of that, and you listen to that very vessel? How? Use your brains. This is why people walk all over us as black people. This is why people just do as they please unto us as black people. In churches, people are being played and they're going along with it. At work, people are being undermined, undervalued, unappreciated, walked all over, and they're just being silent and putting up with it because that's what we were taught. Be silent and put up with the abuse. Let them get away with it. Oh no, that's just the way it is. Things will get better. No! You are mean, you are rude, you are disrespectful, you are toxic, you're abusive, you are a narcissist, and you are possessed. That's not okay. You are damaged, you are broken, and you are projecting your foulness onto other people, onto a child. And have you noticed how our elders like to say, oh, well, we went through this and that and the third, and we turned out just fine. My granny would beat me to a pulp, and I turned out just fine. My mother would say the craziest, most outrageous things to me, and I wasn't expected to backchat, and I didn't, and I turned out just fine. My father would strangle me till I turned black and blue, and I turned out just fine. My uncle would act inappropriately, and I turned out just fine. No, you didn't. Because you're passing on all these traumas to future generations. We are a sad generation with happy pictures. We are scarred. And we're not allowed to voice out our frustrations, our grievances, our traumas. Because we're called disrespectful. When you point out the truth, you're told you're rude. And people believe it. Why? Because nobody ever hears your side of the story, which is the actual truth. You see, adults run to other family members, to neighbors, to strangers, even to helpers, to every single ear that will listen, and they badmouth you to cover up their disgusting behavior, to cover up their evil doings, because they know. Oh, trust me, they know. They are fully aware of what they've done to you and how disgusting and dirty and evil they actually are. So to ensure that they keep that facade, Yaguti, I'm actually a great person. I'm the disciplinarian. I'm the strict one. Tough love. I know everything. Everybody seeks my counsel because I know everything. And they want everybody to be in their corner. And they've manipulated everybody. They've walked all over everybody. Bakita makhanda bantu. Balimaza, bahlukumeza, bakovi moya. Until people didn't even want ikhaya. Yet everybody licks their asses. You know why? Because narcissists are very charismatic. Narcissists are very influential. Narcissists are very persuasive and convincing. And they have the gift of the gab. You could listen to them all day, all night. Because they feel themselves. They literally think they are God. They literally believe that they are God. They could do no wrong. They are unteachable. You can't correct a narcissist. Yes, yonkinto. They know everything. They're never wrong. When you tell them the truth, you are their enemy. And because the elder narcissists within the family are the only ones who can go around talking about sensitive issues, are the only ones who can spin the narrative, are the only ones who get an opportunity to have their say, to share their side of the story, and the child or the abused is silenced or are silenced, because people like that don't just abuse one person. It's a thing. It's a thing. And I could go on and on and on, and I could expose just how troublesome, just how problematic, just how much havoc this person has caused within the family. And I could even go as far as exposing this person. But because I'm still respectful, because I'm still considerate enough to think about their children, I don't do it. I won't do it right now. I don't know what the future holds. But I've been pushed and pushed and pushed, and I've kept silent, Bahlali, all my life. Literally all my life. Because all of this began way before I was even born. But on the 11th of February, I said no more. Askis my babies, we are showering. Woo! That's exactly how I felt exactly 2 days ago when I came face to face with the devil. Oh no, I kid you not. I went toe to toe with the actual devil. I looked her in the eye and I said, no ways. No ways. I refuse to continue to take this. I'm no longer a child. Now, see, you know that child who remained defenseless, who remained silent because they were a child. I'm now an adult. And you don't know the kind of person that I've become now because you didn't get to experience me becoming the woman that I now am because I was fortunate enough to be removed from that toxic environment. But you don't know and you don't realize just how powerful I actually am. In your mind, you're still envisioning that child that you used to walk all over. That child that you used to say and do anything to, and no consequences were suffered. Why? Because even that child's parents are respectful. They're all about peace and love and forgiveness. That is what the child was taught. But don't you dare think that you will ever violate me again. I'm no longer that child. I now have a voice. I now can actually defend myself. And there are people who are actually lucky that I don't touch my elders. But understand that if you ever cross any boundary and step up to me thinking you're going to put your hands on me and violate me in any way, there will be consequences. Understand that what was done to me will not happen to my children because there will be consequences. And I was very moved when my baby, Umhleonse, posted something that read as follows: be the person you needed when you were a child. I'd be damned if anybody violated my child the way I was violated. You see, that same corpse that is constantly mentioned whenever my name is brought up would definitely be the end result. But that dead body will not belong to me, and it won't belong to my child. Because how dare you think you're going to violate me and go on to violate my child? You have messed with the wrong generation. And I need people to understand that whenever we keep quiet for the sake of retaining the peace, we are actually starting a war, an endless war, because it will be passed on from generation to generation. Trust me. And it will bring that family to its demise. It will bring that bloodline to its demise. Because all you're doing is bringing up broken people who can't even contribute constructively in society. Because during the most important, the most fundamental stages of their lives, where they were like sponges. Remember, a child is like a sponge. They absorb each and everything that is said and done in front of them, and they start to mimic that behavior. And if that behavior is toxic, abusive, and they endure that behavior, and the perpetrators of such behavior are not confronted and they don't suffer any consequences as they should, you're teaching the children that it's okay. You're teaching the children that that behavior is okay, that that kind of environment is a normal environment. And then you expect them to go out there and fly your flag high and do you proud. How? Fortunately enough, and by the grace of God, because He resides within me, I didn't turn out to be what they wanted me to be. All the threats, all the negativity that they spoke unto my life, and they continue to speak unto my life, haven't and will never come to pass. And if anything unpleasant or unfortunate ever happens to me, my mother, my father, or anybody that I love, that you continue to threaten, understand that life has its ups and downs, but we surely will get back up. If I or any of my loved ones were to die, understand that it's because our time has come. It's not because of your doing. It's not because of your power. All you ever do is violate because you are weak. You are a coward. And you study people's personalities and you see, oh, this one is actually such a sweetheart. This one is all about peace and love and forgiveness. Let me walk all over them because I actually will get away with it. But you don't realize that you're actually ruining things for yourself, for your child, for future generations. Even when you think and when you're so convinced that children do not deserve respect, it is so important to be a decent human being. Do some self-introspection because you know the truth. Admit that I've wronged these people. Moreover, I have wronged this child. This child had and has nothing to do with my jealousy, with my feud, with my ugly heart, with my anger. She deserves none of that. I wronged her. She deserves an apology. And even if you can't even bring yourself to apologizing, the least you could do is change your behavior. If you want to stay in that dark, evil, jealous, bitter, angry lane, stay there alone. I will not provide company for your misery. I refuse to let you continue to get to me. You know what's crazy is that I recently posted a picture of a 2-year-old who was being bewitched by some woman. And people were outraged. They were like, oh my goodness, how could this woman be so evil? How could she do this to an innocent child? If she has issues with that child's parent, then she should confront that child's parent. But like, why? Ingena pingani. Why attack an innocent soul? And I said to myself, you guys don't know life, hey? I further went on to post a video of a woman who was beating, abusing a child, beating them to a pulp, choke slamming them, strangling them, standing on their body, kicking, shoving, pushing, punching, slapping, everything that you could possibly think of that is disgusting. Standing on that child's head, and going on and on and on non-stop, abusing a child, hearing that child's cries and not stopping. You could see that the devil is at work. The devil resides in this woman. And I remember people commenting, yo, I'm a man. I don't strike women, but I would beat her to a pulp and I'd actually off her and I wouldn't feel bad about it. Mothers, parents were outraged. They were like, this woman, she doesn't even deserve jail. I'd end her life right now. And I said, you guys don't know life. And there are people who are lucky because they attack and violate peaceful people's children. So they never face those consequences. But my dear, understand that when that child becomes an adult and you try to come at them sideways again, you have another thing coming. It's not my duty to push people to be decent human beings. You can't expect an indecent human being to be decent. That's not your job. They need to do the work. They need to heal. But I'm pleading with each and every human being to stop going around violating children. You'll violate someone and they'll be just as messed up as you and they'll come back and they'll say, remember what you did to me? But there are people who are fortunate enough to have violated godly people who still wish you well, who wish you love, who wish you healing because you are broken. You are hurt, and hurt people hurt people. You are jealous, and that's a disease. That's an animal that lives within you. You are possessed. And not only do you need therapy, but you also need deliverance. And it's so sad because the children in the mix begin to clash with each other, even though there's no beef between them. And there wouldn't have been a beef between them had the elders not been trash. And obviously, as a child, you'll believe your parent regardless of how crappy they are. That's your parent. But the sad part is that their crappiness and their evil is highly likely to rub off on you. And you might end up becoming your evil parent. And I pray for innocent souls who are caught within that web. Siblings, cousins, nieces and nephews are feuding about things they know nothing about because the elders started endless wars. They started wars that they can't finish. They started wars that they refuse to finish, and they don't see the bigger picture. They don't think ahead, and they don't realize just how much that messes up the entire bloodline. But that's the thing with narcissistic people. They're selfish. It's all about them. They don't care about the future. They don't care about how everybody else is affected. As long as they get their way, all is well. So I took a break in order to confront these demons and in order to focus on my healing. And during that period, I recorded gang videos detailing some of the occurrences and the experiences and the things that were said and done to me, because I couldn't record every single thing. I couldn't mention every single thing. It would have taken days, months, years, because this has been an ongoing war. Here I am, numb, because I've been taught to be numb. I'm thinking to myself, do it. Finish me off. So I highlighted some of the experiences that contributed to the resentment that I've been feeling. Even though my God and my great ancestors of love and light told me, Zanentle, mention every single thing. Expose every single thing. Usathane agambulwe izinqa. Let the devil be exposed. And this is the best way you can do that, because nobody is going to interrupt you. Nobody is going to try to overpower you. Nobody is going to try to talk over you. Nobody is going to try to diminish your experiences. Nobody is going to deny the truth. Nobody is going to cancel your traumas altogether. Do it. Do it for yourself. Do it for your loved ones. Most importantly, do it for your future children, because they need to know the truth so they never go through what you went through. They need to know that so and so and so and so did this and this. This is how they feel about your mother and your grandmother, and you need to be careful, because if they hate your grandmother and they hate your mother, what do you think is going to happen to you? How do you think they're going to feel about you? So I need to protect my children. I need my children to know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Nothing that has been tainted, nothing that has been flipped to suit the abuser's narrative. No. I went back and forth in my mind about whether I should post these videos, because God and my great ancestors actually said, post these videos. You will change so many lives, because there's so many people who've been through and who continue to go through what you've been through and what you're going through right now. And there are people who are still yet to go through this. Post it. That's the whole point of this channel. That's why we gave you this voice that you have. That's why we gave you the confidence that you have. That's why we gave you the talents that you have, so you can be able to reach out to billions of people from all walks of life, so you can be able to touch their hearts, so you can be able to move them and change their lives. Post it. So they understand that these things happen, these things are real, and so that they don't start believing that they're crazy, that they're imagining things, because they constantly get gaslit within their families, and they start to question whether, was I imagining things? Maybe this didn't happen, or maybe I'm over-exaggerating, or maybe I'm being too dramatic. No, it happened. It's a fact. but they'll gaslight you to make it seem like, unehaba. You're being melodramatic. It's not that deep. It is. Share these experiences. Expose the nitty-gritty details. But I ended up not doing so. I only sent those videos to a few people who are really, really close to my heart. And maybe one day, if need be, if push comes to shove, I will upload them because I do have them and I'll keep them forever. And there are people who will keep them forever and who will make sure that they keep whatever happens to me or any of my loved ones, they will know the truth. I chose not to post those videos even though they were therapy for me and the world at large. Why? Because still, I still respect my elders. I still feel the need to consider their children's feelings, even though these people don't respect me and my feelings were never considered and they still aren't considered till this day, because even the people within the family whom I sent the videos to were like, oh my gosh, this is so deep, don't post it, don't expose them like that. What about me? What about me? What if posting these videos is what will actually heal me? Nobody cares about that. Till this day, we're still protecting abusers and their children. But the abused are not protected. They're just expected to move on with their lives. Therefore, boys and girls, I've been on a journey of healing, and I think it is imperative for all of us to do the same so that we can gain the peace that we've been seeking, so that we can attract all our blessings. Because drinking that poison and expecting the next person to die isn't the way to go. You're actually killing yourself. Let go. Focus on yourself. It wasn't your fault. You had no control over it, but you have control over what happens to you now. And as difficult as it may be, because sometimes you may find yourself getting triggered, don't let them win. Always remember that you were violated by that person because they're already dead inside. Don't let them kill you. They targeted you because they saw your light. They saw just how powerful you actually are or were going to become. They were intimidated by you. That's why they needed to crush you, so that they didn't feel as weak as they actually are. So don't be intimidated by people who are intimidated by you. You're the winner. You're the survivor. Heal. Pray for them. Move forward. If they do change their behavior and they're willing to be decent human beings, it's up to you whether you want to give them a chance or not. But always be vigilant. Don't forget, be careful, because people like that hardly ever change. It's highly unlikely that you'll get an apology from a narcissist. It's highly unlikely that you'll get an apology from someone who's mentally ill or possessed. It's highly unlikely that you'll get an apology from someone who is jealous of you and everything that has to do with you. They see your potential. They see your light, and it annoys them. It triggers them. And the only way to make themselves feel better about how pathetic they actually are is to try and make you feel just like them, if not worse. And then go around spreading gossip, lies about you and your loved ones to make themselves feel better. So everybody can be in their corner. So everybody can believe them. So everybody can rally behind them and say, no, so-and-so is this, that, and the third. It must be that so-and-so and so did this. So-and-so is actually the disrespectful one. There must be something wrong with so-and-so. Why? Because so-and-so actually chose peace. So-and-so actually chose silence. But if so-and-so were to expose the nitty-gritty details of what went down and what continues to go down, everybody's jaw would drop. So-and-so will continue to choose peace. But unlike my mother, I'm not that peaceful. Don't push me. Let's respect each other. Let's heal. Let's move forward. And the best way to move forward is through forgiveness. Forgiveness, you ask? How do I forgive someone who's not sorry? You have to. You're doing it for yourself. If you don't, you're hindering your own progress. So do it for yourself. Set yourself free. How? I want to confront them. I want to tell them off. They need to admit to their wrongdoings. They need to explain why they did this, and the third. They need to apologize to me. Haha. No. I told you, bayagula. People who do that are sick. They're not going to apologize to you. So when you hold on to all that anger, all that pain, you're making them happy. They're still winning. But when you let go, when you forgive, truly, fully, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for them, because nothing they say or do will ever affect you anymore. And I realized this. I've proven this. They continued with their antics. And I felt like, like I began to laugh at them, and I realized, ay, uyagula lona. Ilutho lena, uyahlanya lona. I realized that there's something seriously wrong with them, and that they're the ones who need help. Hence, they attacked and continue to attack me and my loved ones because we resemble what they wish they could be. But because they are vile, they won't get to that point. Obviously, the devil doesn't want to lose. Obviously, uhlanya alivuma ukuthi liyahlanya. Obviously, an abuser doesn't just say, yeah, vele, I'm an abuser. They don't admit to it. They'll never admit to it. Maybe if they get to a point where they change and they become better people, they can reflect on that period when they were still crappy people. But if they're still on that journey, if they're still walking in that path of darkness and evil and anger and aggression and jealousy and abuse and negativity and toxicity, they will never admit to it. So they're gonna fight back. I keep saying I'm not one to shove my beliefs down the throats of others, but I need you to understand that God, he doesn't play with his. If he knows your heart is pure, he will fight for you and you will win. God's team will forever be the winning team. So don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. God's team is that splat. That's that splat right there. So understand that you may never get the apology that you're expecting. Maybe because the perpetrators have passed on. Maybe because the perpetrators will never get to that point. Because on the 11th of February, I went into that whole confession session expecting answers, explanations, and apologies. But what I got was disrespect. Yet I was expected to reciprocate that with respect merely because I'm the child. I can't make this ish up. Imagine giving your abuser the privilege of coming face to face with you, giving them an opportunity to explain why they were so cruel and mean and abusive and toxic, and why they continue to be so negative, and what exactly it is you ever did to deserve the hatred that they spew and feel when it comes to you. And they look you in the eye and they say, I did what I had to do. This is how I am, and you'll never understand me. So screw this, carry that burden, carry those traumas, and die with them. Hey! And I'm expected to respect Leondo. I'm expected to respect that. There are people who carry themselves like imdwembe, like animals, with no shame, with no respect for other people, with no respect for themselves, yet they expect respect from other people? What? And I said, no. No. Not today, Satan. This is the very last time. And when you walk away from drama, do you know how that boils their blood? They want to come back and strike harder than ever before. So they will continue to deny. They will continue to play the victim. They will continue to badmouth you to every single ear that will listen, because they need you to be the bad guy. They need you to be the bad guy. But those who matter know the truth. You know the truth. And most importantly, God and our guardian angels know the truth. So if there's anything that you take from this video, let it be that it's important to lead with love, to lead with kindness, and to consider the next person. You never know how much of an impact you have on the next life. I need you to understand that people will try you. I need you to understand that there are forces of good and evil that are constantly butting heads. Choose the winning team. Satan has, Satan is, Satan will forever be a loser. Forgive. Love from a distance. Wish them well. There's no bad blood. There will never be bad blood. I could never hate anyone. I still have love for you. I'm not like you. And I pray that you never, ever do this to any other child. And I hope for your sake, you come to your senses so that it doesn't happen to your child. And I often wonder, I've often asked myself, and till this day, I often wonder, what would they have done if the things that were done to me were done to their child? Yeah, ne? But we are not the same. I am a Martian. We are not the same. I am a Martian. Therefore, I shall continue to prosper. I shall continue to rise. I shall continue to pray for you. I shall continue to spread love because you need that. That's what you need. Before I bounce, here's the giveaway question. Why did I decide to take a break from YouTube? What was I focusing on? The winners will be picked at random. Akaliti Yelana, we are fair and square, and they will each get 100 rands worth of airtime. In the meantime, binge watch my previous videos while I shoot some more bomb content for you boys and girls, my sugar binga boongas, and I'll see you next time.